Alright, how is everybody doing today? Welcome back to another video. And today, what I have for everyone is my full review of the Google Pixel 6a. So I've been using this device for a good amount of time, and I feel like I've gathered all my thoughts and opinions on it, and that's what I'm going to share with everyone today in this full review. So hopefully by the end of this video, you guys and gals know, if not, if the 6A is worth picking up here today in about mid to late 2023. Alright? So without further ado, let's jump into the video. Let's not waste any time. Okay? Now, starting off here, the first thing I want to talk about with everyone is the overall build quality and design of the device itself. Now, build quality wise, this bad boy is rocking a plastic or glasstic back with an aluminum mid-frame around the entirety of the device. And then up front, it's rocking a Gorilla Glass 3 display. Alright? So that's what we got in terms of the build quality. So we got a combination of glass and metal here. And I gotta say, in terms of the overall build quality, Google has done a great job here. Alright, great job indeed. It's light, but not too light. It has a nice balanced weight in the hands. Alright, so really good stuff when we talk about the overall build quality. And it does not feel cheap, not in any shape, form, or fashion. So good stuff there indeed. And talking about the overall design, it has a very good design. Updated design to go in line or fall in line with Google's latest generation of Pixels. So this is the similar design to something like the Pixel 6 generation and upwards. And I gotta say, overall, I really do like this design. Very sleek, very minimalistic. I like it. It's an overall very good design in my opinion. So talking about the build quality and design on the whole for the Google Pixel 6a, I have to say Google has done a top-notch job. I like their combination of design and materials here. Top-notch job indeed in my overall opinion. Alright? Now, let's move on. Let's dive into and talk about some other aspects of this device. The next aspect being the display. So up front, dead center here, we have a 6.1 inch 1080p plus 60 hertz OLED display. Okay? For all you guys and gals that like to know the technical specifications, it's a resolution of 1080p by 2400, giving it a PPI of 429 pixels per inch. And again, as I said before, it's rocking a Gorilla Glass 3 display. Alright? And in particular, it does not have a high refresh rate. It is just a standard 60 hertz display. So there's no high refresh rate on the Google Pixel 6a. Alright? There's all the technical specifications for you guys and gals that like to know that. Now, talking about the 6a in terms of day-to-day performance, when we talk about the display, and I'll put up the relevant B-roll when it's necessary, I have to say in terms of using this display on the device in the day-to-day, it has been phenomenal, and I haven't had any issues. Indoors here, I rock the device at just under 50%. I think it's at about 46 or 44%. And then outdoors, I did find that I did have to max out the brightness, but outdoors, it's more than visible using it outdoors, okay? And other than that, I've had no issues with the display. The overall display performance has been top-notch in my overall opinion. So once again, Google, I feel like y'all did a great job in terms of your display choice, and that OLED display technology that you have on here means that it's a very battery and power efficient display as well. Alright? So again, top-notch job in terms of the display, Google. Top-notch job indeed. Okay? Now, moving on here, let's dive into some of the hardware and software aspects of the device, alright? Let's not waste any time. We're going to try and do this review very quickly. Let's start off with the hardware first, okay? So, hardware-wise, this bad boy is rocking a flagship processor. We might as well start there first. It's rocking the flagship Google Tensor chip, the first generation chip, which is co-designed and built with Samsung and Google, okay? And basically, it's a flagship processor. It gives you flagship performance. But what Google was targeting with their custom chip is they wanted something that was very software efficient, but integrated a lot of recording and machine learning technology. So as a result, the actual microphone performance with this device is actually top notch as well, second to none. Okay? But other than that, that goes over the processor. Now talking about the RAM and the storage, this bad boy is packing 6 gigs of RAM. Wait a minute, not 6. Is it 6? I believe it's 8 gigs of RAM. I don't have any notes, y'all. My bad. If I make a mistake, I'll correct myself in post. But I do believe it's either 6 or 8 gigs of RAM. But it is rocking 128 gigs of onboard storage with no micro SD card expansion. So what you get is what you get. And in particular with the A series from Google, they don't really have any other storage tier options. So it's typically either 8 gigs of RAM or 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of onboard storage. They like to supplement their non-removable or expandable storage by offering cloud storage with Google Drive or Google One, okay? Or if you have Google Photos, you can get free cloud storage there as well. So Google actually offers 3 different ways to get free additional cloud storage. Google One, Google Drive, or you can have your Google Photos, alright? But there is no micro SD card expansion here, okay? Other than that, talking about more hardware, as y'all can see, we got a dual camera setup on the rear, okay? So we have a 12.2 megapixel primary and then a 12 megapixel ultra wide, right? All of the cameras can record up to 4K, okay, except for the front facing camera that maxes out at 1080p. And that front facing camera is a nice hole punch front facing camera. It's an 8 megapixel sensor, and again it maxes out at 1080p 30 fps recording. Alright, but on the rear cameras you can do 4K. On the primary you can go all the way up to 4K 60, or you can do 1080p at 120 frames per second and 240 frames per second slow motion. Alright, but the ultra wide camera maxes out at 4K 30 fps. Alright, now talking about some other hardware aspects. In terms of the battery, this bad boy is packing a 4410 milliamp hour battery, okay? And I gotta tell y'all, we're gonna talk about it a little bit later on, but the battery life on this is phenomenal. Spoiler alert, is phenomenal. Other than that, this bad boy is IP67 waterproof and dust resistant, so you can fully submerge this device in up to a meter of water for 30 minutes and you should be good to go. Just make sure you dry out the ports and dry off the device thoroughly when you take it out of water, and it should function perfectly fine. Other than that, this bad boy does support a stereo speaker setup, so you get one bottom firing speaker here and one front firing speaker right there. And then you also have 18 watt wire charging, and I would say it charges decently fast. If there's any weak points to this device, it is the charging, but it's decently fast charging overall. Okay? Other than that, we do also have an under display optical fingerprint scanner, and I gotta say that fingerprint scanner is really good. I say it works about 8 out of 10 times or 7 out of 10 times. So it's a really good fingerprint scanner overall. Okay. And I do believe that covers all of the hardware. Now, again, if I forgot anything, I'll go ahead and throw up my corrections in post, as I always do. Now, moving on and talking about the software on this bad boy right here. In terms of the software, it is rocking pretty much stock Android 13. Okay? Exactly the way Google intended Android to be. Now, I'm not going to show y'all too much of the software because I've already done a dedicated software walkthrough. But in terms of the software and the software performance on the day-to-day, and y'all can see my available storage right there if you wanted to know. Okay? But in terms of the software and the software performance on the day-to-day, I have to say Google has done a great job with the software performance on this device. And talking about the software performance on the day-to-day, let me show y'all the updates. So as of the recording of this video, we are rocking the March 5th security patch and the March 1st security patch for the Play Store. So we are basically up to date. Now, we are almost done with April, but they have not come out with the April security patch yet. But it is what it is. Okay? But other than that, the software performance from the Pixel 6a, using it on the day-to-day, has been phenomenal. And I really haven't had any issues. And talking about the RAM management, it has been good. It has been good. Now, I did notice that it does need a little bit of tweaking because when I have a large variety of applications open, it does seem to want to force close some of the applications in the background, even though I don't really want them closed. But I would say the overall RAM management on the Pixel 6a is good. It gets the job done. It does need some improvement. Okay? But the overall software on the whole, in my opinion, is phenomenal. Top notch. And talking about the overall hardware and software on the whole, I would have to say the combination of the two, again, is top notch. Top notch indeed. So in this category, the hardware and software category, I feel as though Google has done a great job. Do they need some improvement? Yes. But for the combination package that they have here, it is great. Okay? Now, moving on, let's get into the Wi-Fi performance. I'm also going to give y'all a speaker test. Now, for reference, all the audio being recorded for today's video is coming out of the microphones on the Samsung Galaxy Buds Plus. So I'm just going to move the Buds Plus as close to the Pixel 6a as I can get it. Okay? And that's how you guys and gals are going to get an audio sample of the speakers. Right? But let's talk about the Wi-Fi performance first. In terms of the Wi-Fi, the Google Pixel 6a does support dual band Wi-Fi. Okay? That means it supports 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz band Wi-Fi. And in terms of the Wi-Fi performance, I haven't had any issues. Alright? Now, let's not waste any time. I'm going to do something a little special for everyone today. I'm going to feature a video and also use it as a speaker test. Alright? And I'll have all the linked up music featured down below in the video description as well. Alright? So, let's do this. We're going to check the Wi-Fi performance, we're going to check the speakers, and then I'm going to come back and give y'all my overall opinions on the Wi-Fi performance and the speaker performance and placement. So let's get started. Let me max out the volume here. Okay, so volume is maxed. And let's go ahead and pull up the featured video today. So I'm going to use my camera video here, which also has a photo sample section with some music in it. And I'm going to link this up down below in the video description as well. Alright? But let's go ahead now and push play. And again, y'all can see how close the microphones are to the actual speakers on the 6A. And again, It has a stereo speaker setup, so we got one bottom firing speaker here and one front firing speaker over there. Okay? So now, without any further ado, let's go ahead and push play. I'm going to give y'all a speaker sample, then we're going to scrub through the video to check the Wi-Fi performance, and then I'm going to share my overall opinions. So without further ado, let's get into this test. Let's go. Alright, let's scrub through the video now, check the Wi-Fi performance, let's go. So let's jump back a little bit. Alright, jump back a little bit there, jump back a little further. No problems whatsoever. Let's jump forward a little bit. No problems whatsoever. Let's jump back again. There you go. Real quick Wi-Fi performance test. Real quick speaker test as well. Let's turn this off. Alright, let me pick up my mics. So pick up mic number 1. Right here. Put that back in. Let me pick up mic number 2. Right here. Put this back in. And let me share my overall opinions on the Wi-Fi performance and the overall speaker performance and speaker placement. Let's go. We can actually close that up right now. We don't need to have that open anymore. But talking about the overall Wi-Fi performance on the Google Pixel 6a, as you guys and gals just saw, it was phenomenal. And talking about it in terms of day-to-day performance, I haven't had any issues with the Wi-Fi as well. So overall Wi-Fi performance, in my opinion, is top notch. Now, talking about the overall speaker performance and speaker placement, overall I have to say the speakers on the 6A are good to really good. Now, they are a little quiet in my opinion, which leads me to almost always rock them at about 75 to 100% volume. And as you guys and gals heard for the speaker test, that was what they sound like at 100% volume. But overall, I would have to say the speakers on here are just okay, good to really good. They do need some tweaking, okay? Now, talking about the overall speaker placement, I am a big fan of the front firing speaker. I do wish we had a dual front firing speaker setup, and I do wish the speaker setup was a little bit more balanced, okay? You have a lot more sound coming out of the bottom firing speaker here than you do the front firing speaker, so it's actually kind of unbalanced. So overall speaker placement is good. It can definitely use some improvement, but for what it is, it's good, and I do wish it was more balanced, okay? But that goes over my overall opinions on the Wi-Fi performance and my overall opinions on the speaker performance and speaker placement. All right, let's move on with the video now. Let's dive into some other categories. So up next now, let's now talk about the LTE and supported 5G bands. Let's go. And I'm going to pull it up for everyone so y'all can see it. And I'm going to also talk about it. Now, in terms of the bands, this is a 5G variant of the device, okay? But this is only the sub-6 variant, okay? As y'all can see right there. Now, if this is unclear, I'll throw up a screenshot and post for y'all to check out. But if you want the true unlocked variant, you need to get the other variant of the device, which supports sub-6 and millimeter wave 5G. But this particular model here only supports sub-6, 4G, 3G, 2G right there, okay? And then in particular, if y'all can't see it, if y'all want to know the exact model that I have, I did write that down. Let me pull up my notes here. Okay. This particular model that is featured in the video is the GX7AS. Okay. And that's the unlocked variant, but that's the unlocked sub-6 variant. So in terms of 5G, this variant supports 4G and 5G, but it only supports the sub-6 5G and not the millimeter wave. And again, if you wanted to get the other variant that supports sub-6 and millimeter wave 5G, you would need to get the GB62Z15, okay? Or you would just need to get the Verizon exclusive variant if you are on a millimeter wave carrier, okay? But this bad boy right here should work on AT&T and T-Mobile and not have any issues. And I did not test it with my Verizon SIM, but I did test it with my AT&T SIM, and it works no problems. Now, I do want to point this out because I want to show y'all this. Let's turn off the Wi-Fi here, and we're going to turn off Wi-Fi, and it's going to pull up the 5G here, and it is running on 5G, but I did notice that sometimes the 5G drops out, and then I have to toggle it the same way I did in the unboxing and data verification video. So sometimes your 5G may drop out depending on coverage, and it might not come back, and you may have to toggle it by toggling the 5G and the APNs in the network connection settings. All right, but 5G does work. And let me just verify for y'all again. So let's open back up YouTube here. And we're just going to go ahead and push play. And again, now we're running over 5G. And y'all can see it's working, no problem. Let me scrub through the video so y'all can see it get a fresh load up. So we're just going to come back. And I'm going to let it load up here. So right there, so y'all can see we're running over 5G right here. Okay. Just wanted to show y'all that so I can verify that the data does indeed work. Okay. And that pretty much goes over the bands and the LTE. Let's turn Wi-Fi back on here. Don't have that much data on my data plan, so we're going to use Wi-Fi when we have to. All right. But that goes over the supported bands. And as I said, in terms of my experience, aside from occasionally needing to toggle the 5G, I haven't had any issues. And again, that goes over all the bands for this particular model of the device. So as long as your carrier supports those bands, you should be good to go. All right. Now let's keep it moving now. Let's go. So up next now, let's talk about the overall Bluetooth performance on the Google Pixel 6a. Now, in terms of the Bluetooth, I don't really need to keep my notes open. That would be cheating. So just let me close my notes here. And we're just going to play it by ear. Y'all know I don't like to cheat. I like to be honest. So let's close that. So, In terms of the Bluetooth here, I do believe it's rocking Bluetooth 5.2. So not the latest and greatest, but the Bluetooth performance overall has been top notch, and I haven't had any issues. And let me just show y'all here some of the Bluetooth accessories that I've connected. So y'all can see my Galaxy Buds have been connected to the 6A. Let me get y'all a close up here so y'all can really see it. My Galaxy Buds have been connected to the 6A. You can see my Pixel Buds have been connected to the 6A, and then my Soundpeats have been connected to the 6A during my review process, and I haven't had any issues with the overall Bluetooth. No issues whatsoever. Okay? So Bluetooth performance has pretty much been top notch. Okay? Now, moving on here, let's talk about the GPS performance, because that's a very important category. In my opinion, I rely heavily on my GPS for the day-to-day. And again, this is another category where I had no issues. Turn-by-turn navigation or anything that took advantage of the onboard GPS worked without issues. And if you saw the B-roll that I posted for the display demonstration, I did actually get a clip of turn-by-turn navigation working, and I honestly didn't have any issues with the overall GPS performance. So Bluetooth performance, top-notch. GPS performance, top-notch. Okay? Moving on now, let's talk about call quality and speaker call quality on this device right here. Now, I have to be honest with y'all. For this review, I used mostly the speakerphone calls and Bluetooth audio. I didn't really have the phone up to my head that often. I either had it connected via Bluetooth on the Pixel Buds, via Bluetooth on the Galaxy Buds, or via Bluetooth on my Soundpeats, okay? Other than that, when the Bluetooth earbuds died, I was using the onboard speaker. I didn't really hold this one up to my ear for receiver phone calls. But that being said, because we have to skip over that now because I didn't actually use it, that being said, the speakerphone calls on this device were phenomenal. They got very loud, crisp, and clear, and I didn't have any issues, okay? And same thing for Bluetooth phone calls, but that relies more heavily on the actual Bluetooth device connected. Didn't have any issues with Bluetooth phone calls either, all right? And again, overall coverage, that's very location and carrier dependent. And again, as I said, I tested this on AT&T with their subcarrier FreeUp Mobile, and I didn't have any issues. Even in the gym, which y'all have heard me say is a dead spot, I had no dead spots in the gym with this device and FreeUp Mobile. So I honestly didn't have any issues when we talk about phone calls. I honestly didn't have any issues when we talk about speakerphone calls, and I didn't have any issues when we talk about overall coverage as well. It was all a phenomenal, top-notch experience. Okay? Now, moving on, let's talk about the overall cameras and my experience with the cameras. Now, as I always do, I judge the cameras from 3 specific criteria: point and shoot photo capture capabilities, point and shoot video capture capabilities, and overall audio capture capabilities. All right? And I'm very happy to report in all of these categories, the Google Pixel 6a did a great job. Okay? And where it really excelled and did a top-notch job was in the actual photo performance. Whether I was taking photos with the front-facing camera or the rear-facing cameras, I didn't have any issues, and 9 times out of 10, I got the shot that I wanted, and it was very point and click, okay? Where the device did struggle, however, is in the video performance, and in particular, in lower light, okay? There was a lot of focus hunting, there was a lot of exposure shifting, but when I had it in good to really good light, the overall video was really good. So overall, when we talk about my experience with the cameras, I would have to say it's a really good overall experience. Not quite top notch because I had to take some points off before the video struggles. So Google, y'all definitely need some more improvements when we talk about the overall video performance, specifically in lower light scenarios, and specifically your exposure. Okay? But other than that, it was overall a really good experience. Okay? So that goes over my experience with the cameras. Okay? And again, I'll link up my full camera review down below in the video description, along with all of my other extended coverage. Okay? For you guys and gals to check out. That being said, let's keep it moving now. Up next, let's talk about my overall experiences gaming on this device. Now, I am not a heavy gamer, but for the 2 games that I did test on this device, the device did a great job. There was a little bit of struggling, there was a little bit of heat, but the overall experience was great. Okay, so the gaming performance does need a little bit of improvements, but overall it was a great experience. Okay, again, I'll link up my gaming video down below as well for y'all to check out. And if I remember to throw up cards, I'll put up cards in the video. If I remember, I'm always forgetting these days. It is what it is. But everything you guys and gals need to know will be linked up down below in the video description. Okay, now that goes over the gaming performance. Now let's get into the overall battery life and the charge times. And one of these areas, the Pixel 6a did a great job. Another one of these areas, they do need some noticeable improvements. But let's dive into it. So, talking about the overall battery life first. And again, anything that's unclear, I'll throw up the stats in post so y'all know exactly what I'm talking about, because I'm all about keeping it straight 100 around here. But talking about the overall battery life, let me show y'all the stats before I dive in to my experience. Now, I picked up this device in used, very good condition. And you can see after cycling the battery is at 100%. Not 100%. I'm tripping. I could see it in front of me, and I still said the wrong number. After cycling the battery is at 98% battery health, and y'all can see it is rocking a 4410 milliamp hour battery on here. Okay, and y'all can see just how many charge cycles I put on the bad boy. All right, but that goes over the battery stats. Now let's get into my overall results, and I'll put those screenshots up in post for y'all to check out, so y'all know the specific charge times, and y'all know the specific overall battery life. Okay, but talking about the battery life on the Google Pixel 6a, it was phenomenal, man. I can easily get through the day with my style of really heavy use. Okay, with lighter to moderate use, I'm getting like a day and a half. And in terms of screen on time, I'm easily averaging between 9 and about 11 hours of screen on time, depending on what I'm doing for that particular day. And on lighter days, as I said, I get even better battery life. So the battery life on the 6A is phenomenal. It's something akin to the battery life on the Moto G Power. Not as good as the Moto G Power, but very close. All right? And the fact that I can easily get through a day to a day and a half with my style of heavy usage, that means that this device gets phenomenal battery life. Phenomenal battery life. All right? So battery life on here is top notch. Okay? Now, talking about the overall charge times, and again, this is where this device, in my opinion, needs the most improvement, because talking about the overall charge times, in my opinion, they're okay. They're okay to good at best. All right? So, for my particular charge testing, I usually test from 5% to 100, 3 to 5 times, 10% to 100, 3 to 5 times, 15% to 100, 3 to 5 times, and 20% to 100, 3 to 5 times. And I show y'all the results and come up with an overall average. And showing y'all the results, which y'all should see going across the screen as I talk about it, I would say that charging the 6A takes on average, depending on percent, takes anywhere from about an hour and 48 minutes to just under 2.5 hours to reach a full charge. Now again, that's my particular results with my style of usage, depending on the percentage that you plug the device in at, depending on the quality of cables that you use. I always use high quality cables and high quality charging bricks, but depending on the quality of cables that you use and the quality of brick that you use, your results may be faster or slower, okay? Other than that, we only have wired charging here. We don't have wireless charging. So you're only going to be able to plug it in to charge it. And that's another area where I was kind of disappointed, because looking at a device that is similarly priced, the iPhone 11, we get wired charging and we also get wireless charging, okay? And these two devices are extremely similarly priced, okay? So just based on that, I was disappointed with the fact that we don't have wireless charging. And y'all know me, I prefer to use wireless charging. This way we don't have to struggle with plugging anything in, okay? And yes, wireless charging is slower, but 9 times out of 10, if you have good battery life, you put your device on the wireless charger at night, by the time you wake up in the morning, your device is fully charged and you're good to go. So there's no need to fight with any cables or plugging anything in whatsoever if you have a device with wireless charging and it gets you phenomenal battery life, okay? And that is what I prefer, because y'all know I'm disabled around here, so minimal struggles, the less the struggles, the better, okay? So I do wish this device had wireless charging, but it doesn't. But the charging speeds overall, in my opinion, do need to be improved. An hour and 48 to just under 2.5 hours, no, Google, no, that's not going to cut it, okay? But juxtapose that with the fact that you do get phenomenal battery life with this device, and I guess that kind of makes up for it. Not really, but kind of, not really. But that goes over the overall battery life, and that goes over the overall charge times on the Google Pixel 6a. And now, let's get into the final part of this review. Let's talk pricing. Let's talk final thoughts. Let's talk overall recommendations, okay? So, in terms of the pricing, and I got my digital receipt right here, because y'all know I'm all about keeping it straight 100 around here. So, case and device, this is what it cost me to pick up the Google Pixel 6a, including the case. All right? So y'all can see just over $250, about $251 and change for the case and the device. And in my opinion, that is a really great price. Okay? And again, that's similar to the price that you can find the iPhone 11 for. Okay? So, talking about the pricing, just based off of the price, can I recommend y'all pick up the device? I would have to say yes. If you can find a device ranging in price from about $200 to about $280, and it's in really good to like new condition, go ahead and pick it up. Anything over, I want to say $380. So full retail price when this bad boy came out, it was like $450. Hell no, I'm not paying that much. Even at $350, that's still a little high. But anywhere between $200 and $380, if you can pick it up in light new to very good condition, and you're in the market for a new device, I would say go ahead and scoop it. Go ahead and scoop it up. All right? But other than that, overall, how do I feel about the device? Well, in my time with the device, I have to say the device is really good. Really good indeed. And let me throw the case back on, because y'all know this was just a test to see how good I can do, because you know your boy is Mr. Super Clumsy around here. But let me throw that case back on. There we go. I feel much better now. Overall, how do I feel about the device on the whole? I feel like Google has done a great job with the Google Pixel 6a. All right? And overall, y'all definitely know this device is going to be here to stay. And these are going to be my heavy hitters right here moving forward on the channel, all right? Okay? So any and all other devices that I pick up will be compared to the iPhone 11 overall and the Pixel 6a overall. And again, can I recommend that y'all pick up the Google Pixel 6a here today in late 2023? I would have to say yes. Especially if you know what you're picking up your device for, you really can't go wrong with this. If you want a stock overall experience, which is fully customizable to your heart's content, you want really good cameras, you want phenomenal battery life, and you want speedy and timely updates, you really can't go wrong with the Google Pixel 6a. Okay? So once again, can I recommend that you guys and gals pick this device up? I would have to say yes. Yes, indeed. Okay? And that pretty much does it for today's video. All right? Now, let's close this bad boy up. Today's video has been recorded with the primary camera on the Samsung Galaxy S20 in Pro Video mode. And we are using Bluetooth audio to record all the audio for this review here today. So as I said earlier, we're using the Bluetooth audio from the Galaxy Buds Plus. Okay? So please let me know what you think of the overall video quality. This video was recorded in 720p at 30 FPS. Also, let me know what you think of the overall Pixel 6a itself. All right, let's get into a nice, respectful conversation about this device and whether or not you think it's worth it down below in the comments. I will see you guys and gals down there. As always, if this video piqued your interest and you would like to know where you can pick up this device at a really great price, I'll link up all the affiliated buy links along with all of my other extended coverage on the device down below in the video description. So down below in the video description should be like a one-stop shop for you guys and gals, and you should be good to go. And as the name implies, down below will feature affiliated links, meaning that when you guys and gals use those links, I do get a small percentage of kickback that I do put back into the channel, but that's at no additional cost to you guys and gals. So in my opinion, that makes those affiliated buy links a win-win for everyone. Okay? I hope everyone is having a great day. Hope you guys and gals are staying safe out there, and I will catch everyone in the next one. Have a good one, everybody. We're out of here. Peace. All right, this was fun. I made a lot more mistakes than usual, but this was fun. And I had an overall great experience with this device. And rocking these two devices together, y'all, whew, I really can't go wrong with either of these two. Anyways, have a good one. Catch you on the next one. We are out of here. Peace.